Hi there, welcome. This is Diane, one of 5 awesome optimists. I am in a very silly mood, and I've been in a silly mood for, a little while. And I read part of my Facebook page when I made a little question about what does an optimist look like, because on Monday Mr. Hollick posed the question, what does an optimistic what does an optimist or optimistic person look like? And it started because I saw his Facebook page on there where he had this crazy expression on his face, and it was like he was tearing his hair out. But as you and I know, if you know Mr. Hollick, he doesn't have hair to tear out. So anyway, that's sort of what so I made a little comment on his Facebook. You don't look like much of an optimist to me. And so that's what sort of started this thing. So I'm going to elaborate on that just a tad, if you will indulge me, because I posed the question to my friends on Facebook. And if you are not a friend of mine on Facebook yet, please do take this moment to be a friend of mine on Facebook, because there are so many things that we can share through Facebook that we can't share this way. I only get to see you once a week this way. But on Facebook I do, daily updates usually, and just lots of other things. So I post the question on my Facebook, what is it? What does an optimist look like? And these are some of the responses that I got, and I hope that my friends who shared these won't mind me sharing with them. And I don't have the time to copy and paste so that you can read who they are, but let me just share with you what they said. What does an optimist look like to you? Okay, oh, here we go. How can you tell if you are one or if you meet one? And one guy said, it looks like me. Thank you, Rune. And then another one of my friends, Stephen. Oh my gosh, Stephen, I just love you to pieces. And he has a little follow-up to say, so look forward to that. He said, they're required by law to wear buttons that say, warning, optimist. And that is because, remember I told you one time in one of my videos, if you're a regular viewer, about that lady who was like, oh, she's so happy. And let me do a little clarification here too, because an optimist isn't always necessarily a positive, happy, bubbly person. That's not really what an optimist is. An optimist is more of it's an actual belief that you have, where positivity and happiness is more of a personality trait. So you can be, not all happy and bubbly and full of life and energy, but you can still be an optimist. So, okay. Continuing on. Lynn. Oh, Lynn just gave the most wonderful thing. She said this. An optimist is someone who is genuinely happy and bubbly, full of life and love of learning, discovering, and sharing. An optimist is allowed moments of sadness and an opportunity to grieve. We all have it in our lives. Makes us appreciate the good that much more. The difference is, an optimist knows that it is a spot, a rest area along the wonderful journey of life. When the stop is over, they resume the journey with renewed vitality. Cherishing, they know it's not a destination nor a dwelling place, and they consciously choose to move on to bigger and better things, cherishing the funny, silly memory of their loved ones who have passed, or whatever it is that caused them grief. If it's a chronic illness, they learn all they can, explore the options, and then face it full on, mostly fearless, ready to conquer and move on in life. An optimist does not dwell in sickness and death. Rather, they savor the moments that life blesses them with, appreciative for the good times. An optimist really does take time to smell the roses and enjoy their beauty. An optimist is not afraid of death because an optimist has truly lived. Isn't this profound? An optimist prays and hopes that his or her loved ones will have the same attitude of life and death that they have. Moving on, she continues. An optimist sees the humor in life. The optimist does not take herself or others too seriously, and when she can, tries to help others lighten up and find the joy in the moment. An optimist is like Prozac to those around her. She fills her life with things that make her happy, people that are optimistic. Others seeing her cannot help but be drawn to that optimistic glow and want to bask in the light of it. An optimistic person helps others to see the brighter side of life. She ruins emo kids' days. She makes them smile. An optimist freely gives praise, kind words, encouragement, lots of love. Hugs are for everyone. An optimist knows how to put others at ease, to feel like the most important person in the world, because to an optimist leaves you feeling better than you were before they called or came in the room. An optimist makes you want to be a better, happier, more amazing optimistic person. And then Stephen pipes back up again, and I love what he says. He's like, "Oh, please." And this is typical of people who, they're like, oh, they're gagged by things like this. And somebody else says, "Whoa, all of a sudden we're all optimists." Okay, now, here's his little follow-up here. Love this. And you know what? This has the kind of, Tony mentioned this about having people who have differing opinions, and what a great thing that is, and to not surround yourself with yes men, but to surround yourself with people who have opposing views than you, not to stir the pot or be adversarial, but to offer a different viewpoint, because there are many different viewpoints that all, when they give their little explanation, totally have validity and may expand and open your own eyes to a new way to think of it. And I love this, and so Stephen, thank you for your contribution about this. And I may or may not agree, but I do think that it's worth sharing, and so here I go, let me share it. And he continues, in a nutshell, he says, a true optimist feels no need to walk about spouting daily affirmations or shouting morale-boosting pick-me-ups every morning. Those are artificial boosts, like emotional cans of Red Bull. No, a true optimist can see the bad in the world and acknowledge it, and even vociferously decry it, while still maintaining his or her very core that the world is good, that people are worth knowing and loving, and that life is awesome, no matter what poop storms you might inadvertently sail into. Optimism comes from the inside and shines out, not from the outside, trying desperately and noisily to drill its way in. And it continues a little bit. In a nutshell, you might not see a true optimist just by looking at him. You might think a smile is a dead giveaway, only to discover that wasn't optimism you were seeing, but rather Xanax and Lexapro. No, to discover a true optimist, you must engage and converse. In so doing, you may become infected, though. It's orally transmitted. Isn't that awesome? And then people put in their 2 cents, and they're so funny. So that is what an optimist is? Son of a gun. Small beady eyes, thin, twitching, humpback with a limp, correct? Someone else said, Suzanne, thank you, Suzanne. By the way, it was so nice to see you and your darling family. Someone you see in a crowd who's smiling when it's raining. I can tell when I'm around one, says my friend Terri. To me, it doesn't look like something as much as it feels different. No roadblocks and no attachment to downer information. I love that. That is a great one. I love how it's more of a feeling. Marsha, to me, an optimist would smile all the time and their countenance would be open and welcoming. And Erika, thank you, Erika, they look like everyone else, but maybe with a brighter countenance, and they always see the silver lining. What an awesome contribution for my friends on Facebook. Please join my Facebook page. I would love to be able to have your 2 cents when I'm asking a little question of this nature for upcoming videos. And so I would like to sort of sum up what, you know, taking all of those things and putting them together, what does an optimist look like? Because I guarantee you, the thing that I think it was Lynn who said that you want to be around a person who is an optimist. I have been around enough people who are pessimists, and they are downers, and they are like emotional vampires where they just suck the life out of you. And it's not just not good or not fun to be around them. It's actually damaging to your soul to be around people who are such downers like that. And you just, if you have any, you know, modality of positivity, you cannot allow that to be around you. I think an optimist looks different in many aspects, not just in, you know, their hair color or whatever. That part doesn't matter, but I think how they groom, how they carry themselves, their physiology, how they engage with people, what kind of respect that they give to each other, like Stephen said about, you know, you have to engage and you know, talk with people and see how they treat you, how they respond, how they listen, how they, you know, how they go throughout this whole process of conversing with you, and also how they are able to take what goes on in their life or your life, if you're, you know, chatting about something going on with you, and offer you a new perspective, one that perhaps you had not considered. And it is an awesome thing to be around an optimist who really has the gift of seeing things with a new way. That, remember, OPT, you know, an optician, an optometrist, it's the way that you see things. When somebody offers you a gift of a new way to look at something, it changes your life forever, because now where you had one view, now you have another view. And if you both continue, maybe you'll come up with 2, 3, 4, or 5 more different things that you hadn't been able to see on your own. So yes, it's a gift to be an optimist, but it's also a gift to be around an optimist. So when 2, 3, 4 get together, the things that you can see, the vision is just almost without bounds. So yeah, it's important. It's important in every way, in every aspect of your life, to be an optimist. And I do have some exciting things in store for you about further exploring different people who have, you know, the power of optimism under their wings that have helped them fly to amazing heights. I'm going to keep my lid on that surprise, and then we'll save that for another time and another day. So thanks again for watching. This is Diane, one of 5 awesome optimists.